Just waiting on. And I think we're online now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Very good. Great. Well, good morning. Welcome to this licensing subcommittee hearing relevant to Gurjas Food and Wine. My name is Councillor Julian Gallant. I'll be chairing the meeting, and my colleagues, Councillor Tariq Mahmood and Councillor Sanjay Kohli, and I comprise today's subcommittee. Hatun Zeb is the legal advisor to the subcommittee, and Zaina Ahmed is the Democratic Services Officer, who is the clerk to the subcommittee. Could I please ask everyone else who's now present to introduce themselves, starting with the applicants. Mr. Kapoor and Mrs. Carr.
Yeah, it's Surendra Panchal representing the applicant, and I've got my colleague Maninder Kaur, who's also going to be representing the applicant. Maninder is a paralegal, just joined our firm recently, so she's going to be taking over very soon later on.
I see.
Yeah.
Do we have the applicant, Mr.?
Yes, we have the applicant. You can see in the picture the applicant is also sitting next to us.
Right. Could he come on camera, please?
He is on camera.
Yeah, he's got to get a bit closer to you, I think, because he's not quite in the picture at the frame at the moment. No, well, I don't see him. I might be a bit. Thank you very much. We can see him now. Thank you very much indeed. Fine. And if you could. That's fine. Thank you very much. I can see the applicant now. Thank you. Could I just ask the police to introduce themselves as well, please?
Good morning, Chair. And panel. It's Sergeant Dimitri Katsar and PC Anu Mitu from the Metropolitan Police.
Thank you very much indeed. Zainab, is there anybody else in the waiting room? Robert Deer's come on. Robert, are you coming on as a, in what capacity?
I'm on as a witness with the police.
As a witness. Fine. Okay. Thank you very much. For the police, yes.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And Zainab, there's no one else, is there, in the waiting room?
No.
Thank you very much. Good. Well, you will all have received or seen the agenda pack, within which is contained the licensing officer report with details of the application. And to confirm, we're dealing with a premises application in relation to Gurjas Food and Wine, 86 The Greens, Southall, UB2 4BG. We note the following representations objecting to the application have been received from the police. And the subcommittee have read all objector submissions in the agenda and will take them into consideration when making their decision. So just as the procedure goes, I will invite the applicant to present the application, answer any questions and call any witnesses. I'll invite those who've made representations to make their representations, answer questions and call any witnesses. And at the conclusion of the hearing, the subcommittee, accompanied by the legal advisor and Committee Democratic Services Officer, will retire to consider its decision. And the decision will be given at the end of the meeting and confirmed in writing forthwith. If the panel can't reach a decision today, you'll be notified in writing within 5 working days of the panel's decision. So that is the procedure. And if there are no questions on that, I'm going to ask the applicant to make their presentation, please. Just before you do, Councillor Kohli's in, so fine. So could I ask the applicant, please, to make their representation?
Yes, Chair. My colleague Maninder Kaur is going to make the representation now. I'll be guiding her if required between. So I'll ask Maninder to carry on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Panchal. If you could remain there as well, as you're the main in charge of the operation. Thank you very much.
The applicant Jasmeet Singh has had a personal license since 2016. He has gained access of the premises and has been running the shop on a management contract since last year, August 2024. He's had experience of running off-license shops in 7 years. This application is not about introducing a new alcohol outlet in the special policy area. It is about reinstating a premises license that had already lawfully existed at 86th Green for many years. My client, Jasmeet Singh, took over the premises in August 2024, at which time the premises license was still valid under the Green Limited trading as Sapna Express. Alcohol sales continued lawfully during that period. A suspension that had been placed on the license had, before my client took over, had already been addressed and resolved. Following the takeover, my client at the current DPS sought to transfer the license into their control. They made repeated attempts to complete the transfer with the cooperation of the then DPS Promise, but it was never acted upon. In February 2025, the Green Limited was dissolved without my client's knowledge. Under the Licensing Act 2003, that dissolution caused the license to lapse automatically. This was not due to any breach of the licensing objectives, misconduct, or voluntary surrender. It was an administrative consequence entirely outside my client's control. Since then, 3 10s have been passed without any objection, and Jasmeet Singh has...
Sorry, Chair, there is Hatun Zeb's put her hand up.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
yes.
Chair, it was just to observe that the applicant appears to be reading off a script and is speaking quite fast, and I know that the committee clerk will be taking a note of what is being said, and she may want to slow down perhaps and take a pause after each sentence so that the committee can take a full note of what she's actually saying. I don't know whether it's sort of easy for everyone else to follow. Thank you.
I am taking notes myself, but could you slow down,
No.
Miss Kaur, could you slow down just so we can actually follow what you're saying? Okay.
So since then, 3 temporary event notices have passed without any objection. Jasmeet Singh, as I mentioned before, has had a personal license since 2016. This demonstrates his experience in selling alcohol responsibly. In relation to the special policy area, it requires exceptional circumstances to grant a license. I believe here the circumstances are clear. The premises license was already licensed. It was operating under the license as recently of February 2025. The lapse arose solely from the dissolution of the previous company. It was not from any action by the client. Refusal would unjustly penalize a responsible operator for a situation they had no power to prevent. During the period from August 2024 to February 2025, my client has operated without any incident and in full compliance with the licensing objectives, and they remain committed to upholding the full licensing objectives, which includes refusing sales to intoxicated persons and maintaining working CCTV with a 31-day footage. This obviously upholds the preventing crime and disorder licensing objective.
So, Ms. Kaur, you are reading it quickly again, and you need to slow down so that we can actually hear all that detail. Thank you. And I'd like to go back, please, to what you said about your client, his experience actually selling alcohol in the area, about 3 lines back.
Sure. So from the period of August 2024 to 2025,
yes,
he took over in August 2025 on the management contract, and since then he hasn't had any incident of going against the licensing objective. Everything has been in full compliance with the licensing objectives. He has refused sales to intoxicated people. We also have been informed that he doesn't sell any strong beer, is what street drinkers come for. And because of that now, street drinkers don't come to his shop. They have deterred away because he doesn't sell to them and they don't have what they would like, which is strong beers. In terms of public safety, ensuring all staff is trained, for which he keeps a staff training manual there, and that is regularly updated, and the staff is given training from here. Furthermore, preventing public nuisance, so he prevents loitering around the premises, where if any street drinkers or anyone tries to have any antisocial behaviour, please leave quietly. Signage is there. They themselves and the staff go around to tell them you can't loiter around here, you know, for public safety. Again, with protecting children from harm, there's a strict Challenge 25 policy, which again, refusal logs are maintained, and there are posters at the shop as well. In terms of the concerns that have been raised around the local area, including street drinking, alcohol behaviour, drugs, people sitting in the green, the park, where it has been shown that there's antisocial behaviour found there, which can be a cause if this premises was there. However, this is not a new premises. This is it's already had a license, so we're not adding another outlet into a saturated area. This already was in existence. So people have already been buying from this shop. It's not an additional one adding on. Once again, in the conditions, it does include no single cans, no single bottles of cider, beer, no above 5.5% ABV. All these are strengthened and robust conditions in mind of the street drinkers that are around in the area. So, and once again, they have not been coming there. They already have been deterred away, so it's not a new problem happening. Therefore, we request that this is a continuation of the license that was already in existence. This is not an expansion, this is not an addition in the area. This was a continuation after the suspension by the licensing subcommittee last year. So they allowed for this premises to continue. It's just that now it's a new premises license due to the management contract and the previous company being dissolved. So this was still valid until February 2025 this year. It only lapsed due to the dissolution of the company by the former DPS. This is something my current client does not control. Therefore, we feel that the threshold of genuinely exceptional circumstances in the special policy area, this will not add to the cumulative impact. This will instead restore a long-standing premises that had already been operating in the area, and therefore respectfully ask the license to be granted.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Kaur. That is your presentation, is it?
Yep.
Thank you very much indeed. Now I'm going to invite questions, and I don't see any from my colleagues at the moment. Welcome to ask at any time. Do the police have any questions to Ms. Kaur?
So is it Mr. Kapoor?
Yes, Ms. Kaur is representing Mr. Kapoor, who is the applicant.
Could I ask Mr. Kapoor some questions, if possible?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
So,
Yeah.
Mr. Kapoor, could you tell me what the licensing objectives are, please?
Yeah, it's for prevention of public safety,
Go on.
save a child for the harms. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Are you reading that out, Mr. Kapoor?
Yeah, it's a preventing of the public safety and nuisance for the save a child for the harms, and
Crime.
I forgot. Preventing for the crime and dissolve,
Right, okay.
and one more. I forgot.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So you've had your personal license since 2016, is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Where else have you had premises like selling off license and grocery shops? Where else have you had businesses?
I'm working at the municipal store since 2016 till 2021. I'm serving a municipal store.
Where's this?
In Hayes.
In Hayes, okay.
Yeah. I was worked there since nearly 7 years. I was selling alcohol. There's no any incident happen. I always help to the people. I know the rules of the license. I always look the people who look over 25. If anyone look under 25, I always check the ID. The ID I will confirm with the photo ID and the government proof ID.
Okay. So how long have you been in charge of this business on the green?
I take over this business on August 2024. And
Okay.
since from that time, I was running this business and there's no incident happen. I always maintain my books to refuse the people. And when the last time the Ealing Council came to my store, I always present them all my documents with the insurances, with the rubbish, and with the refusal books and everything. Yeah.
Are you always in the shop, Mr. Kapoor? Are you always in the shop?
No, my wife and one of my staff, they are available. I always go there around 3 o'clock after cashing.
Okay. Okay, so going back to the business, you're obviously aware this is in a special policy area.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
Because when I started this business in August, I saw the people, they came, the drug people who they're drinking too much. They came to my store. I clearly said them, I'm not selling alcohol, but you guys want it for me, because that's a strong beer, is 9% beers. And after that, when I said that, seems like 1 week, 2 weeks, and 3 weeks, after that, they stopped coming into my store. Since September last year to till now, I didn't see any of them. They came into my store and they asked for the beer.
Okay. So are your staff robust enough to turn these people away?
Yes.
Your wife and whoever else works there?
Yes. My wife, when the last time the Met Police came to my store, they told me about the recording and everything. I told them, yeah, I can provide it and I will send it to the Met Police as well. All the recordings for 3 years, which there's a fighting outside the premises. There's 2 people, which the police is also try to stop them, and they beat the police officer as well. I got all the details as well on that day. That time, my wife, she gone out and she helped with the police officer to take out from them to they are fighting.
Okay. So just going back to the SPA.
Yeah.
Can you see on a daily basis the issues that are around your shop? Are you aware of them?
Yes, I saw them, not near to my store, but yeah, it's on the downside where the Punjab Palace is located.
Do you have any questions?
No. That's it from the police. Thank you, Councillor Chair.
No more questions at the moment. Okay.
Not at this time.
But I think our witness, Mr. Bob Deere, would like to speak if possible.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Would you like to have him ask him now, and then we can ask questions afterwards? I have a few questions. I'm sure my colleagues do too. Would you like to ask your witness?
However,
go ahead.
You wish to do it.
Ask your witness now, Ms. Mitu.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, the Metropolitan Police have asked me to supply some background to these premises. It has been mentioned that this premises was, sorry, Mrs. Evans got her hand up.
Sorry, Mr. Deere, to cut in. Chair, these are
it?
questions only, not representation. So perhaps if we can finish with questions and then we can come back to the police on representations.
I mean, it could. I mean, they're asking Mr. Deere to come in as to make a statement. Should he come in after that then?
So the statement that Mr. Deere is going to make is when the police make their representation. So at the moment, the applicant has made his application, and it's the opportunity for all parties, including councillors, to ask questions only at this stage.
Right. Well, in that case, then we'll ask questions now. Then.
Thank
you very much. Okay. So, do I have questions from colleagues? Councillor Mahmood, Councillor Coley. Yeah, Councillor Coley.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Kapoor, you've taken this premises over under a management contract. Can you explain me what do you mean by just a management contract?
Yeah, sure. It's the management contract which we made it. It's like to manage the shop, like all the stock, buying the stock and selling the goods, and maintain the staff, and that's it.
Okay.
It's the management
So
contract.
what I would like to know
Lisa, you know,
is who is the leaseholder of the premises, or have you taken the management contract from a leaseholder of the premises or the freeholder of the premises?
Sure.
Mr. Kapoor?
Is it leaseholder, freeholder?
Maybe the management contract, yeah.
Maybe just this. Just 1 moment, yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
He's taken it from the leaseholder.
Leaseholder.
But he's taken it from the leaseholder. Was the leaseholder previously running the premises? Is this the company which has been dissolved?
Yes, I can explain that if it's helpful. The leaseholder had the premises. The premises was then undergone into the licensing subcommittee in 2024. He wasn't restricted. The license was suspended for 2 months for whatever he did. And what happened is Mr. Kapoor came in and bought the lease from the leaseholder, sorry, the management contract from the leaseholder, because the leaseholder no longer wanted to run the premises. And in future, the leaseholder was supposed to transfer from the freeholder to Mr. Kapoor. That was the main idea to go forward. And that is why Mr. Kapoor took it over on the leaseholder's management contract. And hence, that is a time when Mr. Kapoor decided to transfer the license to his name, fully to his name, while the documentation go ahead for the leaseholder, for the freeholder to transfer the lease to Mr. Kapoor. Not realizing that the leaseholder thought that by transferring the license, the application going in, he could surrender his company. So he dissolved his company or surrendered his company in the meantime, not realizing that the license would lapse if he surrenders that. And that's where the problem occurred, and the license got lapsed. As soon as Mr. Kapoor put the transfer in to the council for the license, the council realized that the company had already closed, so the license was stopped or was lapsed. So immediately Mr. Kapoor asked us, and we put in a temporary event notices. So there were 3 temporary event notices already applied for, under which Mr. Kapoor was trading for, whilst new license was applied for. And at no stage during the application of the 3 temporary event notices, the police had not objected to that at all. So those temporary event notices were granted, and Mr. Kapoor traded on those temporary event notices whilst the new application was to be granted. And during that new application, the police have now objected to that new application. So what confused us the most is why was the new temporary event notices not objected?
Thank you, Mr. Panchal. See, my concern lies in that this is a special policy area. My concern is that the gentleman is not a leaseholder, it's just a management contract. He's not, you see, normally if he was a leaseholder, he has a greater level of investment and responsibility. Being on a management contract is of concern. You know, I am aware of management contracts, but, you know, especially for larger franchises, but something of a small nature like this, I'm just wondering that it's just a contract and he can walk away tomorrow without much responsibility, you know. And,
So thanks, Andrew. Let Mr. Kapoor answer that.
When I take over this business, like what you said, that I can walk away from this business, it's not like that. The problem is, like, when I take over this business from previous leaseholder, what I did, I pay him take a loan from a company, from my personal, and I pay for him is a £30,000, and after that I restocked the shop. It's approximately around again £25,000. So it's altogether around £65,000, which I already spent in a business. So I can't walk away from the business because that's my stuff that belongs to me, which I think my I already submitted my statements for the bank and my loans department, which I owe him. It's approximately more than £50,000, which I own, and that all the money, I stock it into my store to try to running the business smoothly, and the people, what they like it, I can try to provide them my service.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Kapoor, are you intending to become the leaseholder in that case?
Yes, he is going to become a leaseholder.
Yes.
That was the future. The transaction was that the future would be that Mr. Kapoor would take over the lease. It is now going to go on. If even the license wasn't granted today, Mr. Kapoor would be in a position that he will have to run the shop to recover whatever investment he's put in. And that is going to be a very difficult task. He had not breached any of the conditions, as you've seen Mr. Kaur presented to you. The 3 temporary event notices which were put up at the premises were granted.
That's great. I mean, we've got a picture now that he wants to take over the lease, but he hasn't got there yet. So we'll if that's good, we'll part that. And I just want to take a question from Councillor Mahmood.
Thank you, Chair. Can you just reassure me? Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, we can hear you very well. Yeah.
Ms. Kaur, could you be sure that you said in your statement since the new owner, the new management is running the administration 1 year. So there was no incidents, and Metropolitan Police never been called during these 12 months. That's right.
Never. The Metropolitan Police had never been called up for any breaches.
Thank you.
Okay. I have a question, if I may, and you'll have seen this in the police's submission, so I'm going to ask this now. Could you explain, please, Mr. Grover's involvement or non-involvement? You'll see that it was written on the in the submission.
I'd just like to, my colleague, Mr. Kapoor, Mr. Manpreet Kapoor, did have an email last week on Friday that's actually due to another premises that was a mistake, so that needs to be avoided. It's not part of the submissions, it was a mistake.
Yes, I understand that. I understand about the email exchange, but in the actual submission, there appears to be the same contact details for another premises. If you read the police's submission in the actual main agenda.
That was a mistake, and that was resolved via communication on email. That was a mistake of putting the same contact details on when doing the application. So it wasn't anything linked to Mr. Grover.
I see. So there is no link between Mr. Kapoor and Mr. Grover at all. Okay, you stated that. Okay, thank you very much. Right. So yes, Councillor Cody. Yes.
Can I come in with another?
Question.
Thank you, Mr. Kapoor. What I would like to know is that, to the best of my knowledge, that there are 3 other premises nearby your premises within a span of 400 yards.
Yeah.
And obviously, you very clearly stated that you're not selling alcohol above 5%. Yes.
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 Right. Can I understand, with the competition prevailing nearby, what is your unique selling point for alcohol? You know, considering there are 3 other shops, and you're not selling high volume alcohol. Thank you.
What is your competition?
Unique selling point. Sorry.
Well, yeah. The question is, why should you be selling alcohol in that place where we know, and everybody knows, it's stated that alcoholism is a problem?
Yeah, sure. Since August, when I take over this shop, the customer which I serve them, they are mostly prefer to buy stuff from only one shop, because my store is bigger than the other stores which belong near to my store. I'm selling all the dairy products, groceries, toiletries, alcohol as well. So that time, whenever the customer came into my shop, they're happy to buy everything on one place, rather than if they're going come to me and buy dairy product and buy alcohol from the other stores. So this is the main reason which I knew it, that the customer which I serve them since 1 year. So I bet I know the area now. I know the customer. They are very friendly to me, and whenever they came to my store, they think to buy only from one store for all the stuff what they needed. Like in the evening time, whenever I was there serving the customer, they come to me, they buy a dairy product, grocery, and with the alcohol bottle as well. So what they like it, because I always try to give my 100% with the service, and that's why what they like it. Since 1 year, there's no complaint from the customer, there's no complaint from my neighborhood. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Kapoor, can I ask you, just on the 10s that you applied for 3. We've seen 2 applied for and granted. What was the reason for applying for those 10s? Was it a special event or what?
No, the 10s were, sorry, Chair, the 10s were applied for because when the application for the transfer was applied, the council realized that the company which owned the license has been dissolved. Yeah. So the license no longer exists. And immediately Mr. Kapoor was informed that you cannot sell alcohol because you do not have a license to carry on. Yeah. So for that license to carry on, or for the licensable activities to carry on, we applied for a temporary event notices. Okay. These 3 temporary event notices were applied during that time for the alcohol to carry on being sold, while the new application was put in. So the new application was applied for. And the temporary event notices. So at that particular instance, none of the 3 applications were objected by the police. So those applications were granted, and Mr. Kapoor carried on. And the premises license was also applied at the same time. And when the consultation period got over, the police had objected, and we are here today with the committee. And Mr. Kapoor is not selling alcohol presently, so is losing all the business that he has.
Yeah, the question is simply, I'm just interested to see why the 10s were applied for, whether it was a public event or whether it was a special thing. No, you're saying it was just normal commercial procedure. Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much. Okay, great. And colleagues, any more questions? Any more questions from the police?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, Councillor Coley. Go ahead.
Mr. Kapoor, sorry, you did provide a layout, so please excuse me, but your alcohol, is it displayed behind lockable cabinets at present, or what is the layout at present? Sorry, I know it was provided, but I've forgotten it. So is it behind lockable cabinets at the moment, or are they on the shop floor?
Yeah, it's behind where there's a counter. There's behind all the alcohol with a lock shutter on it. It's a fully locked shutter, so nobody can touch it. Nobody can open it without my permission.
Okay. Right. Okay. Any more questions, colleagues? No. So I'm going to, if it's okay with the. Sorry,
Chair, I was just going to ask.
Go ahead. Yeah.
When Mr. Kapoor refers to the alcohol being locked behind, does that include the beers, the low strength alcohol, or is that your whiskies and spirits, etc.?
It's whiskey, spirit, and the vodka. That's it on there.
So where are the beers stored then?
The beer store in a storeroom. That's also a locked storeroom.
Yeah, but I'm talking the items you sell to your clients. Where are those beers stored in your store?
Those beers are in the fridge.
And where's the fridge next to you? Where is the fridge situated?
Just opposite the lane of my counter. There are 2 fridges. One is for soft drink and the other one is for alcohol, sir.
Okay. All right. No, thank you.
Okay, so we have, if that's all the questions now to Mr. Kapoor, I'm going to move to the police. You made the objection. You want to make the representation now.
Thank you, Chair. With regards to police representation, yeah, we have submitted a synopsis of our concerns regarding this new venue or existing venue opening up. As we all know, this venue is in a special policy area, and Southall in particular, as I've alluded to on many occasions, has a problematic, it has a massive problem regarding street drinking, and an increase in antisocial behaviour and crime. There are males loitering in and around that particular locale, which leads to the urinating in the street, defecating in green spaces, littering and making members of public feel unsafe. Now, I'm not wholly pointing this at this particular venue, but we as the police feel that, as Mr. Coley, Councillor Coley has rightfully said, there is quite a few of these particular venues in a short string of a street. I don't believe this has a unique selling point to differentiate it from what all the other stores have and offer to the member of public that come to this particular venue. Again, I'm not saying that I blame this venue for all the problems that are occurring in Southall, but what I am saying is we feel as the police, if we open another one, a venue like this, where we are selling alcohol, because they all do, and I understand they have to make their business economically viable, we are seeing that the alcohol contributes to antisocial behaviour, it contributes to minor crime and disorder, and at times it can contribute to violence against women and girls, as has been alluded to in our synopses with all the incidents we've detailed that occur within that locale. Further to that, from a policing perspective, we also are of the mind that our colleagues who patrol those particular areas have alluded that in the summer months it becomes more of an issue, and the statistics that we've represented in our hearing highlight this, that antisocial behaviour does increase over this period of time and generally throughout the year. Our other concern is, and although it comes from a public health perspective, if we open more of these types of venues, alcoholism increases. It's almost like we are contributing to the problem by selling alcohol to these people who, when we look at it in a case-by-case basis, some of these people are vulnerable. And again, I understand that people have to make a living and that people have a freedom of choice to choose what it is they want to buy, utilize, drink, etc. But it's about managing that expectation and trying to reduce that side of things. And I feel that if we open another venue of this particular type, it will contribute to the alcoholism and, again, the negative behaviour that is synonymous with alcohol and drugs, although I'm not saying you're selling drugs, but we also have to look at it like this. When we are selling alcohol, we are selling a drug that has been legalised, and it is about doing it in a responsible manner. And I'm not saying that Mr. Kapoor doesn't do this in a responsible manner, but we have heard on many occasions that people say, we do this, we do that, we do the challenge 25, we have an incident related book. And on various occasions, when police do go, this is not necessarily the case. Again, I'm not accusing or saying that Mr. Kapoor is like this, but I'm just highlighting the issues. And further to that, when we hear the same thing over and over again, sometimes the economic factor can override the morality in this instance. And I'm just saying that sometimes if you're struggling from a business perspective, your alcohol sales supersede your groceries, your bread, your milk, all that kind of stuff, because the profit margins will be a lot bigger from alcohol sales as opposed to everything else. I know I've waffled on and I've spoken at length. With regards to the temporary event notices, because I'm sure that question will come up. The reason the temporary event notices were granted was just to see how a venue would run. But the key to that phrase is they are temporary event notices, just so that the gentleman didn't have the license at the time. It was for him to obtain and sell alcohol under this particular form of legislation. If the license is granted, this then becomes not a temporary thing, but a day-to-day running of the business. And of course, we're not fortune tellers or can see in the future, but that's why we grant it, just to see that. But it's a temporary event notice. It's not something that is on a day-to-day running of the business. With regards to that, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak, and my colleague and I will happily take questions should they be required. If I may ask Chair and panel, Bob Deere, who works for Ealing Council Licensing Enforcement, has also got some evidence or experience he's had with this particular locale that he would like to discuss.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. I think what we'll do is, if Bob is okay, just to wait there for a second, we'll take questions to you and your submission first, if that's all right. Councillor Mahmood, you had a question for, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Just for my knowledge, I just wanted to ask you, we are talking about very dense populated area where we are considering the license and marketing of the license. And antisocial behavior and nuisance behavior is very common there, as you described very well. I'm just wondering if we will decide not to grant this license today. Do you think from police perspective, the antisocial behavior and illegal activity, do you think significantly reduced by not giving that license this morning?
If I could just speak. So from a police officer's point of view, I think not having another premises selling alcohol would help that community in particular. I've policed Southall for 17.5 years, and unfortunately a lot of the things that happen around that particular area emanate from alcohol fueled crime, disorder, ASB. So if we can reduce that by not having another premises that sells alcohol, in my police opinion, my professional opinion, I think it would help.
Okay,
I hope that answers the question.
Yep, thank you very much. Yeah, Councillor Cody.
Thank you, Chair. What I would like to ask the police is that the premises is an existing premises, yes? So we need to acknowledge the fact the premises is an existing premises. If they were not granted a license, because it's existing, so the problem is as it is. I do totally agree with the police that they are having a major problem with antisocial behavior there. Everything you've said, I have taken on board, and I totally acknowledge and agree with that. But this is an existing premises taken over by someone else. If we do not grant the license, do you think that will reduce the antisocial behavior, which is there, similar to my previous?
Sorry, Councillor, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
Please, if you could elaborate that, we've got to acknowledge the fact the premises is there already. The license is moving from A to B. It's not a new premises. What's the comment from the police regarding this?
Councillor Chair, I suppose it depends on the individual running that particular venue. As I say, Mr. Kapoor, as you rightly have stated, is a new manager management, whatever the new that sort of management contract. Apologies, tongue tied there. So yeah, I suppose it actually boils down to how he runs the venue from his day-to-day business. My understanding is that and I stand to correction, but when we thought there was a link to the old license holder, there were issues there before, and I can't penalise this particular gentleman for that. But when we look at it from a macro level in terms of another shop like this that doesn't necessarily have a unique selling point, I believe that it does contribute. It might be a small essence of contributing, councillor, but when we take that little brick by brick by brick process, when you have all these little bricks, those little bricks then make it a big issue for the local residents. And as police, we've got to make sure about crime and disorder, etc. And whilst this is a different form of policing, this is just a step we can try and take to prevent that particular side of antisocial behaviour, minor crime disorder, violence against women and girls, especially in that green area where street drinkers notoriously go in the evening. And we could go on about that a long while. It's a debate for all and sundry to be part of, but just in terms of that, it's those little building blocks that make that add to what is an already existing problem, and that is just how we look at it, councillor. I hope I haven't been disrespectful in any shape or form, but that's just how we view it, sir.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Ryan. No, that's absolutely fine. You haven't been disrespectful at all, I assure you. So do I have any questions from the applicant for the police?
Yes, Chair, we do.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. From your point of view, I'd like to ask the police, first of all, I'd like to come into the temporary event notices. Sorry. You said the temporary event notices, when applied for, you say that is just granted without your objection. Am I right in saying that?
Well, they were granted on a temporary basis, yes.
So you had no powers to refuse it. Am I right?
Oh, well, I'm sure as you do, as does everyone, the police have the power to object to a 10, but we're not draconian. We do want people to be able to have the opportunity to have a successful business, the opportunity to make some money. However, that was a temporary event notice. Temporary being the operative word. It wasn't a permanent thing.
So you're indirectly trying to say to me that the temporary event notice was granted and you wanted him to make the business, not realizing that it would cause a problem there, which you are trying now to object.
Well, the objection is because if Mr. Kapoor's given a premises license, that would be permanent. We would have little control over what he would do with that license to effect. He could operate and sell that alcohol 7 days a week within the hours that he is on his application. The temporary event notice is temporary.
So he would.
Apologies for the noise.
So you're trying to say to me that the temporary event was given to him and he could cause any problem he wanted to, and you would ignore it.
That's not what I said. No.
So that's what you're saying now to the application.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, you're saying that now for the main application you're saying is going to cause a problem, but the temporary event notice will not cause a problem.
That's not what I'm saying. Temporary event notices, of course, can cause problems.
So if one was granted, you then again granted the second one, you again granted the third one.
Yeah.
So in other words, you are saying to my client that yes, your first temporary event notice was successful. We're very happy with it. So we're granting the second one. And then you grant the third one. So you granted all three of them, making sure that yes, the premises was run properly, were run responsibility, and that is the reason you granted the second and the third one. Am I right in saying that?
That's correct. That's what many businesses do, yeah. Yeah,
that's correct. So the business is running. So you agree with me that the business is running responsibility, as responsible, has made
3 events.
I can say on those 3 occasions, Yes.
Yes, so they were running this. That's my thing, that it was run responsibly. There was no problems, and the business was quite
Well,
well.
nothing has come to our attention.
Thank you very much. So you're supporting that the business was done very responsibly.
No, I'm saying on those 3 occasions we had no incidents reported from that location.
Oh, thank you very much. So, yeah, that's something, Chair, that you need to note.
Yes,
down.
yes, Mr. Spencer, I've got the picture now. So you asked about the TENS, and we've heard the exchange now about that, and the fact the police did not make objection to the TENS and had no objection to the way the business is run during the TENS. Okay, so we've clocked that. Do you have any other questions?
No, thank you very much, Chair.
You're welcome. Yeah, no questions, Mr. Kapoor. No questions. Okay. Yeah. So, colleagues, do you have any questions now for the police, or should we move to? I believe the police want to call a witness now. I think we'll take that if that's okay. So, Mr. Deere, you're coming in as a witness for the police, aren't you?
I'm indeed, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to just remind people of some of the history of premises. Yes, the premises has been there, and if you didn't get a license today, it'd still be there, but just without the alcohol. That's what has to be taken into consideration. The premises that was there previously, Sapna Express, very well known, and after a couple of attempts, finally in 2022, late 2022, the license was revoked due to numerous breaches of the license, stolen property being found in there on numerous occasions, and non-duty paid cigarettes being found in there. The person running that appealed, and then all of a sudden, before the appeal came to court, a new application was put in by the person, Mr. Chopra, who is or was and is still the leaseholder. He is still the leaseholder of that premises. We've heard that a management contract has been signed, but it's not been served today. You haven't seen it. The police haven't seen it. It could just be a plain piece of paper saying that I give my permission for Mr. Kapoor to run my premises as a manager, because that's what he is in theory. As you quite rightly say, that license could be granted or transferred back. So the Green took the place of Sapna Express. Sapna Express, as I say, run very badly. Finally, the license was revoked, and then the Green come along, just like today, saying exactly the same things. How good he was, what he wanted to do in the premises, but it didn't take Mr. Chopra long. Excuse me, it didn't take me long to find 2 incidents where he was given a first and final warning, and then his license was reviewed. And that was for stolen property again, because of the area. The street drinkers and drug users in that corridor that runs between King Street and South Road, stolen property is the highest. Well, shoplifting is one of the highest crimes there, I believe. Breach conditions again. And this time, he didn't go for the non-duty paid cigarettes. He went for an illegal worker. That license was suspended because of all the changes he promised. And then,
so Mr. Dick, can I just ask you? I'm going to try you very quickly. What are you referring to right now? Which year date are you referring to at the moment?
2024, sir.
Thank you. 2024, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Mr. Chopra took the license, got a new application in February of 2023. Okay. So he lasted. He lasted about a year and 3 months before his license was reviewed. And you've got to remember that, yes, premises, new owners given opportunities to show what they can do. But also you've got to realise the resources that have to go into all the work of making them comply. Because yes, we all say that, we heard from the legal side will say, well, if it doesn't go right and he's non-compliant, you can review him again. Well, this is a way to stop that, to make all our jobs easier, especially the police and the councils. But the Green, Mr. Chopra has his suspension and decides he's had enough of Southall and he's going to go back to further west from London to run the businesses. Now, Mr. Kapoor, in his submission, said that he took the license over in August 2024. That's a long time ago, 2024. So he runs the shop and he agrees that he's been trading. And he said he took the premises on. So has he been running that premises illegally, i.e. he didn't transfer the license, didn't make any attempt to transfer that license? But when he did, in well, the new application actually came in June, the middle of June. So the license, sorry, the company was dissolved in, let me just see where I put it here, the 4th of February 2025. So June, from February to June is nearly, well, it's 4 months. So he's trading on that with no license for 4 months. Mr. Chopra's gone to run his business because he signed this management contract over to Mr. Grover. He said Mr. Grover again, didn't I? Mr. Kapoor. So he's got experience, I agree. Yeah, 7, 8, 9 years actually. He's been a personal license holder. Unfortunately, he's never worked in a special priority area before. He hasn't got the experience of that. This area is well known. I think the whole of the committee probably know that. Southall's got the most premises. Directly opposite is Manor Gardens, or what is it, Manor Gardens or something like that, where all the street drinkers and antisocial behaviour, fights. In fact, somebody got stabbed in the head over there 3 months ago. That's what the violence is like. The premises close don't sell strong alcohol because they're all new licenses. They have to go further afield for that. Maybe that's why Mr. Kapoor doesn't see them, but they come back to that area. So perhaps a little bit less beer, strength of beer, or save their legs a little bit. They won't have to go as far if they like Mr. Kapoor's business. But all I would say, Chair, is that I haven't personally heard nothing new. We've heard about, I've told you about Sapna, I've told you about the Green, and I would say that, in my opinion, if this license was granted, we might even be back here in a year's time, just over, when Mr. Chopra realises that it's a very hard area to thing, and obviously if he succumbs to the pressure that the area puts on people, he will start doing things wrong. The premises haven't been visited by my team yet. Yes, they have been once when Mr. Chopra was told he didn't have a license, and that's what I can't believe. Mr. Chopra sells a business or a management agreement and then dissolves the company immediately. Well, why didn't Mr. Kapoor just transfer that license in August of last year when he took over, or sometime between then and February, because that's when it was dissolved. It's not a new thing. So that's my evidence for the police, Chair. I'll take any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deere. Can I just ask you, are you asserting that between the 4th of February when it was dissolved and the 4th of June, when the new license was applied for, that the business was trading and selling alcohol? Is that correct?
Yes, because Mr. Chopra, sorry, I keep saying Chopra, Mr. Kapoor obviously he believed there was a license there. What Mr. Chopra told him.
All right. So, Mr. Kapoor, is that correct?
That's correct, sir. Mr. Kapoor was transferring the money to Mr. Chopra for all the necessary contacts were carried on. And immediately when he finalized the last payment to Mr. Chopra, the previous owner, he then immediately decided to transfer the license to his name. The transfer, that is the time that the council or Mr. Kapoor came to know that Mr. Chopra had dissolved the company. If he had known earlier in February that he was going to dissolve, he would have transferred that license at that very instance. But Mr. Chopra said that the license was valid, and while the transaction was carried out between Mr. Kapoor and Mr. Chopra, it was to be awaited till the license got transferred. So he immediately made his view saying, yes, now I've paid you the full money, I'd like to transfer my license to myself. And that is when he put the transfer in. And that is when he realized that Mr. Chopra had dissolved the company.
So are you saying if I'd walked into the shop and I tried to buy alcohol on, say, the 10th of February this year, I would have been able to buy it, but without an active license in place?
No.
Sorry.
No. Can I point one point? Yeah. On 27th of January, the license has been suspended, which the council did that for 2 months. For whole February, March, they don't have any license. The one point I want to ask Mr. Robert, you said that I'm selling alcohol on that time, which I don't have a license on that time, and this all alcohol has been removed from the shop, which the Ealing Council, they came into my store and they checked everything. When the suspension is over, that time when I made a last payment to Mr. Chopra, which I have all the proof from the solicitor, which I made the payment, and that time the consent letter Mr. Chopra provided to me.
The consent.
Then straight away, which I did that, I put the application for transfer the license A to B.
All right. So Mr. Deere, is that correct? That they were not selling alcohol during that period?
But there was a suspension.
Yeah, there was a suspension.
Yeah, the suspension finished at the end of March. So from March to when the officer went in there at the end of May, start of June, they were selling alcohol because they were told they couldn't sell alcohol anymore, and Mr. Kapoor removed it and put the shutter down. But again, you know, when he's told he hasn't got a license, it should have been removed from the premises, not just with a shutter or put in the storeroom, because keys have to be kept somewhere. So, you know, I could say, well, anybody could easily have gone in that store and got a beer out.
Okay, right. So last one, this Mr. Kapoor, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Robot, when the last time the Ealing Council lady, she came into my store, right? She saw all the alcohol, they store it into the shutter, behind the shutter, it's locked shutter. The other alcohol, they store it in the storeroom. She told me, can you write down that you are not selling alcohol? I said, yes, I can provide all my writing statements because I'm not selling alcohol. She said to me, if they find out anything like that, it's going to cause the problem to me. I said, yeah. That time I go video footage when the Ealing Council lady, she came to me with the one police officer, and she took with the right for me that I'm not selling alcohol because the alcohol is fully locked behind the shutter.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks. Okay, thank you very much. So we've heard that. Councillor Mahmood, you've got a question for Mr. Deere, I think, have you?
Yeah, but I think Chair has been answered, because I was thinking to ask Mr. Deere if there are anything or any support you can provide when the license was suspended and they were selling alcohol, but it's been answered now.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, any more questions for Mr. Deere? Yeah, Councillor Cody, yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Kapoor, I'm a little bit confused with dates, yeah, so maybe you can help to clarify. So you took over the business in August 2024.
That's right, yeah.
Right. Can you first please explain me why you did not apply for a license at that time? What was the rationale behind that?
When in August, when I take over the business, right? I paid him for the 80% payment, no, 70% payment on a bank transfer, which I did that to Mr. Chopra for the stock. Because on a management contract is worked by the you are the responsible for the rent, stock, manage the buying and stuff for the shop, selling the goods. And that time when I made a last payment for the Mr. Chopra, that time he gave me a consent that
Yes.
I can transfer. But still on that period, the Mr. Chopra, I owe him a money, which I pay him. I go all the bank transfers, which I try to pay him monthly by monthly to clear that balance. So then they can allow me to take over the license for the shop. And on the meantime, which I want to point it to Mr. Robert as well. You can't blame one person who did that anything wrong to another person, right? When I take over this business in August, since last year August to till now, it's August now, nearly 1 year now. There's no in my store, Gurjas Food and Wine. There's no causing any problem to environment, to neighborhood, to the child, to the any antisocial behaviors.
Thank you, Mr. Chopra. But Mike, Chair, if I can go on.
Yeah, go scan. Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Chopra, what I don't understand, sorry, Mr. Kapoor, what I don't understand, once you've taken over the business, Mr. Chopra has no responsibility for the license activities taking place. Therefore, you are responsible, and I'm not concerned about when the payment was made. When the payment was A, B, or C, if you have managed to enter a contract which is not appropriate, my concern is you took over in August, you are totally responsible, and being a professional, you know, and you've had a license for about 7-8 years. With your expertise, I do not understand why there is the delay. I'm not prepared to accept the delay or the payment arrangement. You had responsibility of this.
Okay. Yep, Mr. Kapoor.
The problem is, like, on the meantime, when I take over the business, he's the main license holder for Mr. Chopra, and he's still with the contact with me, and he also came into the store all the time when I was there. So he's the main license holder on that time still when I was there. So we both are, because when the last payment I made it, then he left the store from me. In the meantime, from August, September, October, November, December, and January and February, it's nearly 8 and 9 months that he's still with me on a business. That's why he didn't give me a consent form, that because he told me when I made a last payment, then I will give you full authorization to the business. That what happened. And now when I made an application for new license on that meantime, that also lease contract is going on now. So I'm just if I granted the license today or not, that this is a very big effect to me and my family as well. But if you check on the previous 1 year record, that I didn't cause any problem to the businesses. Yeah, which you pointed out that why I delayed for the transfer of the license, right? Which I told you that August to till when I made a last payment, the Mr. Sandeep is still in the business with me. So this is the yeah. Go on.
Yeah,
Yep,
one more.
good. Go on.
One more. Right, Mr. Kapoor, do you acknowledge what Robert Dare said, that between the month of March 2025 till around about the beginning of June, alcohol was being sold without a license?
But that thing, the Kiran Gill, she's a ailing consul. She came to me. She told us. Then we need to know that this is a happen. We didn't receive any letters. we didn't receive any notification on thing because when I put an application to the transfer the business to the license to transfer into my companies, then they told us, the alien council, that the license has been gone.
So we immediately stopped selling alcohol.
On the same thing that I write down the put the written notice to the alien council when the Kiran Gill took a pictures for all the stock which I stored, where she took the letter from me that I'm not selling alcohol on that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So, Mr. Deere, you got a question for Mr. Kapoor, have you? Or?
Yes, indeed, Chair. Sorry. Just on really to clear up the council sometimes never find out that the license has been, the company has been dissolved. There is no legal right of people to notify us that they have dissolved the company. It's just strange that Mr. Kapoor enters into a contract basically to buy premises costing £50,000 or whatever it was, and Mr. Chopra apparently gave him a consent form. Which date did he give him that consent form? Because he dissolved the company on the 4th of February, as soon as his, and that application isn't done overnight. As soon as that license was suspended, started its suspension, he has notified Companies House that he wishes to dissolve it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
And also, sorry, Chair,
Yeah,
Mr. Kapoor, his company actually was incorporated in August of 2024. So he took over that business in 2024.
Right. So now, do we have any more questions for Mr. Deere or for the police or Mr. Kapoor? I do have a question. I'd like to ask a question of the police, actually, because we've heard from Mr. Kapoor today how, I mean, you've asked him about SPA, you've asked him how he's going to run the business. Has the way he's answered your questions given you confidence that he could actually run this business responsibly?
Chair, thank you for the question. To be perfectly honest, no. What Mr. Kapoor said, we've heard countless times, and how he's tried to explain the business. We've heard hearings before exactly the same. We want to open an off licence in an SPA, particularly in Southall. So I don't, from a police point of view, have any confidence, to be honest.
Right.
Sorry, Chair.
Yes, Mr. Pachalia, you're going to have a chance to. You can have a chance to sum up in a second. I'm going to ask the police to sum up first, and then ask you to sum up. And we are going to have summings up today. But I had a question to you, as a technical question. The police, there were conditions that were put forward by the police. And can I just confirm to me that you would accept that if the license were to be granted, you'd accept the core hours as per the police's, as per the for the city, the central city zones in Ealing? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, Chair.
That's correct. There was another one. There's also three others, and you can answer. I'm going to ask you the question now. Would you accept that if it were to be granted, alcohol would be stored behind lockable shutters when the premises is open at times that alcohol cannot be stored?
Yes,
it cannot
Chair.
be sold.
Yes,
You would
Chair.
accept that. Alcohol is not to be stored on the shop floor, and any surplus stock is to be kept in a secure stock room. You would accept that?
Yes, Chair.
Yep. And sale of alcohol for off the premises is to conform to the London Borough of Ealing's core hours, which you've agreed to. So those are questions, formal questions that you would accept those conditions. I don't need to ask you that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So unless we have more questions now for from the parties, I'm actually going to ask the police to sum up now, if they would.
Thank you, Chair, panel, Mr. Panchal, Mr. Kapoor, everybody. The Metropolitan Police, we our summation is that we have highlighted our concerns in terms of the impact a new business of this ilk can have on the local community in terms of the crime, antisocial behaviour, potentially VORG-related incidents. I've also highlighted the public health aspect of things, whereby whilst I understand the venue does sell alcohol, it's not its sole purpose, but the alcohol is sold to vulnerable people who are alcoholics, etc., and it puts them in a vulnerable position, or it can it can increase the antisocial behaviour in that particular area. We've heard Mr. Kapoor say various things, and thank you for agreeing to the conditions we highlighted. But the other concern we have is, and Mr. Deere has highlighted the whole thing, is this management contract, which, if it runs for its full duration, what happens then? Does the leaseholder take over that business again, and then it's back to the original leaseholder? Is Mr. Kapoor working on behalf of the leaseholder? But this is just a loophole in the legislation with regards to the management contract. These are just concerns we have, so we may be going back into that circle that we've been in before with this particular venue. Just to surmise in a small soundbite, prevention is better than cure. So from us, we just think that if we do allow this license to go ahead, it is, I'm not saying it's going to cause all the antisocial behaviour, but like I said, it's that adding building block that facilitates and adds on to the antisocial behaviour saying there, which then keeps the people who reside in that particular area, it makes their living experience not a happy one. So from a policing perspective, that's where we're coming from. So thank you for your time and the opportunity to speak.
Thank you very much, Sankesar. So that's the police's summing up, and can I ask the applicant to sum up and include whatever you like?
Thank you very much, Chair. We're getting a little bit confused. In one side, in our summing up, we are saying that the police are very happy in granting the temporary event notices, because one after the other, they are satisfied that there is no breaches and the client, Mr. Kapoor, has run the premises in promoting the 4 licensing objectives very well. This premises is not a new business. This premises is a business that has already been running there. Secondly, I'd like to bring to your notice that Mr. Chopra, the previous owner, is not restricted in any way. When his license was suspended, his suspended period had got over, and if Mr. Kapoor did not buy the business or the contract didn't go through, Mr. Chopra is not restricted if his license was carried on. We understand that the company was dissolved, that's why the license is stopped. But Mr. Chopra, in no other way or in no other condition, was restricted to get back his license. So even if Mr. Kapoor didn't buy it and if the license were on running, Mr. Chopra would take over the business back and he could run his business as it is, if the license was valid. So the point here is that this business is not new. The business would have existed. It was just an incident where Mr. Chopra sold the business to Mr. Kapoor and decided to dissolve his company, not realizing that the company would dissolve, the license would lapse. Mr. Kapoor didn't understand that the license had already, the company was shut down, and hence the license was dissolved. He wasn't informed. He wasn't even told about it. All he was told about is that the contracts are going on, and that once your final payment is in, Mr. Chopra did come to the premises regularly, as you heard Mr. Kapoor saying that he was regularly at the premises because he was the license holder. And once Mr. Kapoor finished his payments, Mr. Kapoor immediately decided that yes, he must now get his license in his name, and the application was put forward. As soon as the council noticed and brought to Mr. Kapoor's notice that the license was no longer valid, Mr. Kapoor immediately stopped selling alcohol, immediately removed with full cooperation with the council, and put a new application in. There were temporary event notices put up, and the police had all the rights. I asked during my questioning, they could have objected to those temporary event notices, and we wouldn't have a license there. Again, all three temporary event notices were granted. During all three temporary event notices, Mr. Kapoor ran the premises it robustly in promoting the 4 licensing objectives, complied with all the conditions, and hence we feel that this license be granted, Chairman. That is what our view is on this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Panchal. Thank you very much indeed. That is the summing up. I'm going to ask Ms. Zeb now. Ms. Zeb, have you got anything to add? Do you want to come in and before we retire to deliberate?
No, Chair. I think that you've covered all the matters. Thank you.
We've covered everything over. Okay, good. Well, thank you very much for attending and for your concentration, your contributions. We are going to retire and deliberate now. It's 11:52. I'm going to say if we reconvene here at 1 o'clock, please. Okay. Is everyone okay with that? At 1 o'clock.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, thank you, Chair.
Thanks. Right. Is everyone out there now? Everyone's out of the, everyone's gone now, have they? Okay, so just us. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.